Hey guys, Moose here. We are back with some more Stonehearth, and I apologize that we did not have any videos go up on Turkey Day. I did stream, but I'm feeling pretty under the weather here, and my throat right now is actually killing me to the point that it's extremely painful to talk, and I'm basically doing this episode purely to give you guys a heads up that there's probably not going to be many videos for too many days here. I don't have much of a backlog, but I will be posting stream VODs of DQB and Planet Coaster, which occurred recently, so you can look forward to those, but as far as Stonehearth goes, it's probably going to be a few days. That said, after that, we do have a number of things coming up, some of which I've mentioned as far as kind of tutorialized content for stuff like Stonehearth, DQB, Final Fantasy XIV, a few other games like that. So if you're interested in that, you can look forward to it, but in the immediate future, I'm going to be having a very difficult time doing videos because of my throat, which I hope is just a cold, but not totally sure. I may have picked something up here, so we'll see what happens, but hopefully it'll get better soon. So anyway, we'll get through this video, and I'll do what I can in the coming days, but more likely than not, you're not going to see much new content for a little bit here. Probably only like 3 or 4 days, but for the moment, it is going to have an impact on the channel. At any rate, let's get on with the series. Mansion's nearly done. We're going to need to put a ladder here to get this stuff down. I'll go ahead and do that right now. No reason not to. It fits in fine, so let's just go for it. Let's see, is there anything worth murdering? Doesn't look like it. Anyway, today is Black Friday, so I hope you guys find some deals that are good for you, or don't spend any money, you know, saving is probably better. Personally, I picked up a full computer, building a whole new computer, i7 670K or 6700K. What else did I get? I got a GTX 1060 6GB version because it may actually be relevant because I tend to open several games at once. I know that's probably a waste of money otherwise, and even with that, it's probably still a waste of money. But a 1060 is a good upgrade for me. I'm on a 960 right now, so it's a pretty substantial upgrade. The processor is not that big of an upgrade, but I think it's a power consumption upgrade. But I'm not retiring the old computer. I'm just handing it off to Karen because the one she's using right now is like 5 or 7 years old. It's pretty bad. It's got like a Phenom 2 or something, old AMD processor with fantastic workhorse. I love that processor, and that processor made me love AMD, but it's showing its age. So it'll be repurposed. That one's not going away either. It'll get used, but not in the active duty rotation, so to speak. It'll be used for some side work kind of stuff. And the graphics card from that, as well as the RAM, will also be largely repurposed, which means you may think that means the processor's going away, but that doesn't actually. Obviously you need RAM to run a computer, and you don't really need a graphics card to run a computer in general, but anyway, the point is all the parts are gonna get used. Alright, we got invasion. Kinda got close. I'm a little concerned, so I'm just gonna call everyone back to be safe, and then I'm gonna send my military in. Doesn't look like they have any healers, but this guy looks scary. Anyway, our military is right in there, so that's good. Already took out one ogre. Yeah, we're fine. But yeah, so I'm gonna wind up with 3 computers, which was the plan. Looked into HDMI switches and things, and those wound up being too expensive to be worthwhile. I'm just gonna manage it fine. It's not a problem, I just need to... Ooh, I didn't look into an Elgato. I need to look into buying an Elgato. Completely forgot about that. So I'll pick that up probably right after I finish recording this video. We'll go from there. But as far by the way, I'm sorry if the audio is too high. I forgot I had it turned up for the stream, so let me check that real quick. That should be a little better, hopefully. Maybe I'll turn it up a little. There we go. Should be fine. Hopefully the audio is not too loud for you guys. I apologize if it's different than normal. A little bit of a different recording setup for the stream earlier today, and I forgot to reset where I had the audio. So I apologize for that. Let's release our Hearthlings, let them get back to work. But yeah, I need to pick up an Elgato for a lot of different reasons. That'll help with my recording situation, or it kind of replaces an HDMI switch in some ways, as silly as that sounds, but it helps. Thing is, I don't have to have the Wii U hooked up to the Switch anyway, because I'm probably never going to record anything off of the Wii U, since Nintendo's so stupid about their social media or new media outlook. If you're unaware, basically from a legal perspective, in my opinion, they have no right to ask for anything, because it's fair use. Well, I mean, I may be mistaken, because it's a commercial application, so you may be able to say, well, fair use doesn't apply here because you're selling it, but I think if I understand it correctly, and I may very well not, they're not really, if I'm working on it, and I am working on it, creating content by having commentary and actually playing the game, that cannot exist with just the game itself, or something to that effect. It's at that point fair use, and I can do as I please with it effectively. It's derivative work at that point. Similar to why you'd be able to use logos for various businesses on a TV show where you're parodying something. Like, that's why, something like The Daily Show would be able to put, logos and clips in their content without any issue. But it's a new thing, and there haven't been that many rulings on it, I don't think, or any. And as a result, Nintendo can basically just throw their legal weight around and not exactly intimidate, but that's basically what it is, intimidate the overall environment into giving them a cut of something that, in my opinion, they have no place taking a cut of. And it's infuriating, so I will occasionally buy their products, but I will absolutely not stream any of their games. Well, maybe streaming might be a different story, because I've seen that kind of work out fine. But there's no way in hell I'm putting anything of their stuff on YouTube. They're just... It's a shit deal. If you're a streamer or a YouTuber, from my perspective, it's a shit deal. Because the bottom line is, no matter what no matter what percentage they take, they don't really have any right to take any of it. So why would I say, hey, you can have this, when they deserve nothing? That's just my perspective. Did I forget to put a door in here? Be a little unfortunate if I did. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Okay. Well, they'll get to it when they get to it. Copper ingot. Oh right, we killed some stuff over here. Totally forgot. So yeah, I'm really not pro Nintendo. I like their games, and I have always liked their games, but they make some very backwards decisions, and it kind of pisses me off. And also, looking at the Switch, the new console, I'm really not happy about it at all. In fact, that just drives me further away from consoles in general. I know I got a PS4 and I do DQB and stuff like that, but I should emphasize, I'm really not a console gamer at all. I don't generally play console games. DQB really stood out for me and was something I wanted to play, and that's kind of an exception. Other than that, I'm really just not a console guy. I haven't been in a very long time. I'm PC through and through. Mod, all kinds of shit. I know I haven't really done any mods for Stonehearth, and I should, and I will, but historically, I'm just not a console guy. So I'm trying to change that and kind of, you know, it's a valid part of the gaming landscape as much as I want to preach PC Master Race, but it deserves a little bit of respect and I should pay attention to it a little. So I'm trying to, but if I look at the landscape right now, I say Wii U, is it worth buying? In retrospect, no. I'd kind of rather have my 250 back. I've gotten enjoyment out of it. I enjoy Pikmin, you know, the multi-co-op mode is really fun to play with Karen, but then why is the single-player campaign, why is the story campaign not multiplayer? Why is it not co-op? It seems like it should be for exactly the same reason that the multiplayer exists. Like, I don't see how it would be any different. And then, other than that, I've got, like, okay, Mario Kart, but frankly, the Wii U Mario Kart's worse than the Wii Mario Kart. Because you can't, they took away 2 items, which I think is just stupid, personally. It makes items kind of pointless a lot of the time. Because basically, if you're in first place, and if you're playing on your own, you usually are. Or I usually am anyway. There's really no reason to do anything with items other than hold them. Like 90% of the time. So at that point, items are basically non-existent in the game. But if you give the player 2 items, now you're giving them the opportunity to hold one, because you need one, always, to protect yourself from red shells. But then you can get, in the Wii version, you just get another one, you basically wind up cycling your items, allowing you to effectively use items without sacrificing your protection. And by taking that away, now it's just, okay, well, the choice is either sacrifice your protection or not use items, and it's 100% don't use items. Why would you sacrifice your protection ever? That's how you defend your lead, so it just basically makes items pointless for at least one of the players, and probably 2, honestly. I'd consider holding one. I mean, it depends who you're playing against. If you're playing against someone who's good, you might need items to catch up to them, but if you don't, then you just hold on to it even if you're in second place, because you can just catch up normally. So, it just seems stupid, personally. And then Smash Brothers, like, honestly, if I was younger and, you know, was in college or something and lived in the dorms, totally, I'd get tons of value out of that, but I'm not, and I don't. So, okay, we have a problem. The clerics just blew off the rest of the party. We gotta get those guys in. Sorry if you can hear the heater going, it's been quite cold lately, so we turned on the heater. Trying to think of what else I have. Everything else is basically just nostalgia. I picked up Metroid Fusion. That's awesome. I love Metroid Fusion. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time, as I discussed in the old Minecraft series that I did with Eric and Karen. What else is there? Wind Waker HD, cool, but already played it extensively and beat it multiple times, so again, it's purely for nostalgia's sake. And at that point, what else am I going to pick up and play? Like, I'm really not seeing anything that I want. There's no Zelda for it. Well, no, there was Skyward Sword, but that was on Wii as well. And now they're already coming out with Switch, and where's the Zelda? Not coming until Switch time, isn't it? It's about the same time for those? So I'm stuck thinking, like, well, what's the point of a Wii U? I bought one because I have disposable income, and it's like, well, you know, I like Smash Brothers, I'll give it a shot. I like Mario Kart, I'll give it a shot. But I mean, the value proposition saying I'm going to spend $60 for each of those games, because let's face it, console games generally don't go down in price, especially not for Nintendo. Some of them do, but generally not the good ones. Not the ones that have demand. So maybe it's different in the PS4 and Xbone ecosystems, and I'm just not aware of it because I don't participate in those that much. But for the Wii U, it's like, if you're looking to find a first-party game that's not shit, it's gonna be $60 even if it's been 2 years since it came out. And tough shit if you don't like it. So The Wii U is very disappointing, and Nintendo in general, as I've discussed in this video now, is very disappointing. But then you move on to the Xbone, and it's just there is no killer app, so to speak. Like, I'm looking at it, I've looked at the launch, or not the launch titles, just the titles that are out on it in general. There's nothing there that I want. I'm not into Halo, and frankly, if I'm gonna play a first-person shooter, it's sure as hell not gonna be on a console. So why would I get one? It's a bit like, to me, the Xbox has always pretty much just been like a crappy PC that has games designed for it. And that doesn't mean it's a crappy console, it just means like, well, if you have a PC, what's the point? And I never really understood it. And exclusives don't really change that. Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to be saying, well, I could play Halo, and that might be, maybe it's good, I don't know, I haven't played it, I don't have a very high opinion of it, but I haven't played it. Or I could play any one of like a million different FPS games on PC that will be more tailored to what I enjoy in an FPS, whether it's fast-paced, slow-paced, tactical, strategic, Twitch, whatever you want, you can pretty much get it for FPSs on PC. So why would I say, well, now I want to play on console with a controller, with auto-aim? It never made any sense to me, so just never picked it up. I never understood that. So then you've got, weird, I guess the door got used up. Maybe I sold it. At that point, you're left with the PlayStation. And that's the only one where I can kind of like get it, because you can't really get anything that kind of matches up to JRPGs anywhere else. And they're starting to port them over to PC, but not in a timely manner. And usually it's like, frankly, a shitty port. So I don't really see how you could play those and really feel like it's the right experience to get out of it if you're playing it on the PC like 4 years after it came out. And I just, like, I don't understand it, it doesn't make sense to me. So basically the only place you can go for that is a PS4. And then there's other more niche stuff. Basically, it's the only one that seems to have like unique console games without, like, a good amount of unique console games that are specifically console games that are not really going to be reasonably playable elsewhere, i.e. on PC, and also is not completely price gougy. And it's scary that I'm saying that after, you know, $599 US back, what was that, almost 10 years ago now for the PS3 launch. You know, never thought I'd be there with Sony saying that they're not the price gougy ones, but it feels like Nintendo is much worse for that. Especially with all the merchandising and shit, with amiibos and things, and all the gimmicks. And I don't like calling them gimmicks because, honestly, Wii motion controls were not horrible. I kind of didn't enjoy being forced to use them for Metroid Prime. The third one, I think, had it forced. Maybe, I can't remember. Like, I think I played the original Metroid Prime just with the controller, and that was kind of like ideal. That was perfect for me, and I love that game. It's one of, I've said it about Fusion, and I'll say it with Prime as well, one of my favorite games of all time. So I don't really know, I don't like it all the time, but I don't really enjoy dismissing the stuff Nintendo makes as gimmicky, because I don't feel like that's fair. Even though it is kind of exactly what it is, I just don't like calling it that, I guess. And maybe that's naive, but whatever. Anyway, point is, the PlayStation's kind of the only console that makes any sense to me. And, like, from a value proposition standpoint, and even then, it's kind of a shitty one. Because I'm gonna, like, I get it if you don't care that much about PC gaming, I guess. Because from my perspective, I already have, like, an amazing PC, so it looks like everything else is a stupid choice. But if I didn't already have a gaming PC, I mean, I just spent like $1,200, it's more like $1,100 on a PC. But if you add in the value of the monitors that I'm going to be using with it, it's probably around $1,200. So if I consider that it's like, well, I can pay like $250 for a PlayStation at this point, or I could get like a $1,200 PC. I mean, yeah, I get it. I get wanting a PS4 then. Not for me, again, because I'm into gaming to such a degree that I would not be satisfied with just a PS4. So there's no version of this where I don't have a gaming PC, but if I was less interested in gaming, I would get it. Whereas I can't really say I feel that way similarly about, like, I don't feel like you could just get an Xbone or a Wii U and be like, okay, well, this is the only thing I'm ever going to play games on. So, I don't know. And actually, I'm even getting that way with, this is not what I wanted to open. This is what I wanted to open. I'm honestly even getting there with the 3DS, where I'm feeling like, well, I like certain things about the 3DS. The 3DS is very cool. There's many games that I enjoy and I'm interested in. But when am I going to play it? I'm getting to the point where wouldn't I rather just play it on like a 1080p screen with better processing power? Like there's no experience that I've found on the 3DS that I wouldn't feel better about on a console or a PC. Like I would really prefer to have Animal Crossing on a console. And I guess that's, again, somewhat unique to my position because I have a TV that I can just, I can totally be in bed and have the TV going with a controller in my hand, no problem. And maybe not everyone's in that position, and if that's the case, I understand it. But, like, to me, because there's no reason to have mobility like that in my home, and I'm not going to play anywhere else, then there's no reason to have mobility like that, period. And at that point, why have it? So I don't know. Maybe I'm a unique case and I should be better at seeing things from other people's perspectives, but that's my overall mentality on gaming in general and the various console options. I know I didn't even talk about the Vita and all that PSP, whatever. I don't even know which one they have right now that's in the newest slot. Because frankly, if it's not the 3DS and it's a handheld, you're wasting your time. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be really unhappy about that. And I actually have seen some Sony handheld games that were pretty cool, but I just never... It was just never enough for me to even seriously look at a PSP. So... or a Vita or whatever. Again, I don't even know which one they're on, and that should tell you everything you need to know. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll join me for the next one as well, which again, may be in a few days as a result of my throat feeling like I had a cheese grater shoved through it. Hopefully it won't last. Hopefully I'll wake up tomorrow morning and we'll have no problem, but for now it's not looking good. So, thank you for watching. See you in the next one, even if it's a few days. Take care.